$56,518, which is the standard budgeted salary across all precincts. That is the same. And so what's prompting this request is just the precinct feels that there is backlog and a lot of deferred maintenance, that they feel these two positions could help them catch up on.
Yeah, yeah, we're extremely behind in precinct 2. You know that we don't set up on that rock like precinct 4 does. And I know our mileage might be a little bit lower than some of the other precincts, but it's just about the wear and tear on our roads. There's, I figure we could even have some litigation because of the sore shape some of these roads are in, as the vehicles have to drive up and down them. We've got 2 new dump trucks that are gonna be here at the end of March. And we have a belly dump we just purchased to put on another 18-wheeler that we have just sitting in the yard out there, a truck tractor. So we're gonna be able to roll a little bit better, but we're just a little short-handed. And we're in the process of getting everything else ironed out there. But it's just a big deal for us to have some folks in line to help us get our job done.
So just to kind of brief everyone, the staffing models to a certain extent are calculated based on employees per mile. And so that's why we had kind of set those up for each ones.
And at the end of the day, precinct 4 is still short if we go by that ratio. My question to you would be, 2 people is a reasonable thing, but you could probably get more done if we would bid some of that out.
Yeah, we plan on doing that, hopefully. Yeah,
Because I don't know that 2 makes a huge difference in your,
yeah,
but it'll put us in, we just need to make sure if we're gonna worry about the model of employees per mile or what we're gonna do in that area. Because quite honestly, we're behind and we're gonna be behind for a long time just because we don't have enough.
yeah.
So
Right.
I'm not,
Well, I was just going back to, I know we had those 2 positions. I don't know why the model skewed before when then precinct 2 had those 2 positions. I'm not familiar with, why they had those 2 positions and they didn't get them filled, but that was probably because of, to me, it was probably management, on their part, and they never did get filled. So, but I know if I had the roads, and I know you've got some issues with your roads, we all do.
Right.
If you want to come ride with me, we take old football mouthpiece and let's go ride. So
no doubt. I'm just curious, how can we help you get there quicker?
yeah, right.
And 2 employees, I think, will be a benefit to you, but I don't think that's what will get you there quicker. I think
Right.
getting you there quicker would be putting some money in a private contractor's hands and having them come in and help.
So would you be thinking these 2 additional employees would be from here on?
Well, it wouldn't have to be because we could, we've got, between us, we have 2 employees that have a lot of years on and I don't think they're going to stay there forever, so it would be kind of like to let me catch up. And then once our attrition falls through, and then we could go back to where, you're thinking we need to be as the model issues shows.
Right.
Any clue on the length? What are you talking about there, DL?
3 to 4 years. And we could keep some of those vehicles that we're gonna have it's mainly to haul base and to keep moving and, cause just in the 2 months I've been there, I've seen that, just not much, they're having a lot of stand down time, but once we get these new dump trucks at the end of March, then if we don't have anybody to put in them, they're just gonna sit there right now, so. And I hate to get rid of the trucks we have are working good too, so we can really move some debris, and some road base and we're loading with pea gravel right now, because I've already been road milling this winter, which about 6 miles already, so we're gonna have some chip sealing to do when the sun gets up and gets a little warmer, so.
Dustin, do you recall why there was those extra folks in precinct 2?
No. Whenever there are vacancies like that, we do reach out to the department, asking if they'd like us to post, and those positions just at times would be posted, and then applications would sit, and there was no interest from the department for interviewing or moving forward with filling the positions.
So was there a time where all those positions were filled? Or has it always been, even though the positions those were additional positions, were they ever filled? In other words, was there people showing up to have everyone on those positions?
I'll need to go back for the exact date, but I know the entire fiscal year of 2024, it was not fully staffed. But I'd have to pull
I
some
think the
reports to
exercise
see.
was to find the chronically unfilled positions.
I want to say the department was on
Thank you, Ryan.
on that report, two budget
And
years in a
so
row.
back during the summer, and these two positions had been open for quite some time.
Yes.
Over a year.
They were on
I-
your
I
list.
believe.
They were on the
And then,
report twice.
so we
I
started,
believe, in a row.
we came up with this model and really moved those to,
And not just road and bridge,
Right,
but jail also had
Right,
a lot of
yeah.
open positions, and they agreed to cut those back.
But to go
Effective budget.
to, the point, Judge, that when I got on the court, they had the same number of employees that they did prior to budget this year. So they've always had that. There was conversation and talk at the time, but it wasn't worth the battle, so to speak, it would take to sit down and rationalize that, hey, here's what it should look like. So it was never addressed, but they've always, from the time I got on the court, they always had that number.
Yeah, and then, staffing, I don't believe was the issue. I mean, it could be part of the issue. The problem was the budget wasn't being spent.
Yes, sir.
And so the budget was approved, but the money was not, applied. And so there was always extra budget left over when the citizens would rather, if you're gonna pay a higher tax rate for this budget, then you ought to get to work. And it didn't happen.
Do you know if, were those two numbers, were that put in the budget the first time?
What two
It would
numbers?
have had to been.
Yeah.
Oh, they were vacant positions in the budget.
Yeah, they were
Right,
in the
but-
budget.
Yeah.
But the budget money is there.
Yeah,
So
we
it's-
budget for them.
Well, it's not in that anymore.
Yes.
In fiscal year '24, they were budgeted.
When we begin to look, if I remember, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, the problem that we had was we had precinct 4 that had well over 400 miles of, and growing. And according to the model, you were 4 employees at least short. And, but you agreed, and there were 2 vacancies over here, and we agreed to move those 2 vacancies to your precinct, so you could, and you said you would start with just 2 of those 4 that you were short according to the mileage.
Right.
So you took those 2 vacancies, which still left you 2 short, but you said at least you could start doing something.
Right. And then
And
it
then that
put,
evened out,
the other 3 precincts were on par.
other 3 were on par, but you were still 2 short. That's where those 2 vacancies went.
Right. Yes, sir.
plug the two new, these 2 new heavy truck drivers into, the count there, and what does that, how does that affect the model?
I mean, 120,000, I would bet, somewhere in that ballpark, 130 with.
Well, no, just the miles per position.
Whoa, gotcha.
So she just simply adds,
Sorry, my keyboard is really terrible.
But while she's doing that, here's what I do agree, is you gotta get caught up.
Yeah.
So we gotta figure it out.
It
one
wouldn't
way
be
or
here if it wasn't
Right, we gotta
behind
get
the
it.
8 ball right now. That's the problem, that deal.
I think it's the approach, how do we want to do it?
Yes, sir.
And, but when this seat was vacant, the court was in concurrence, 100%, that precinct 2 was gonna have to do some things to catch up. And anywhere from, it was more considered using third-party contractors to come in there. And then we start talking about the park issue, and that's completely different because the park is the whole county's, comes out of the whole county's budget. We're dealing with your budget, and so, you know, how are we gonna skin the cat? Is it more employees? And just remember, that's the gift that keeps on giving. They're here for a long time and all the stuff that goes with them, which is fine if that's what we agree to do. And the other is to use, for the next several years, third-party contractors to take specific projects off your plate except for oversight and doing that. So, you know, either one or both may be the issue. What you're asking for is both.
I'm asking for both, at least for the next 3 to 4 years to catch up. And then the attrition will fall off and I can be back to the numbers we're at now.
So Commissioner, for your question, it'd be 12 miles per position.
Say it again?
12 miles
12
per
miles per
position
position.
if there were 2 additional positions under precinct 2.
Well, you know, I don't have a problem with the idea of it being temporary. I don't. If knowing that down the road, we can get back to some balance between the precincts. And I understand that when you get behind, it's a tough road to hoe. It is a tough road. I can live with the idea that,
Yeah, if you would afford that for me, just to, you know, that's why I got this position, is the
Yeah.
main reason. And I feel like if I could do that for 2 or 3 years, to mother two decide what they're gonna do, which they're high numbers, and I don't even know if, you know, if they'll even be there that long. But if they can, then we'll get them off the books, and then we'll move everybody up the ladder, and we're back to where we need to be. Plus, we can use the third party.
Yeah.
And then I could make a big difference out there. That's my main goal of being in this spot.
Right.
I'm agreeable to moving forward. I would like to note if it'd be okay that we can earmark those positions at budget and have a discussion. How did it go? Did we make the progress we thought we
Yes, sir.
would?
Yeah, well, yeah.
So just have that
Obviously.
ready at budget.
let me just ask a question. Is it possible under our setup, at some point, let's say down the road, and we look at this again, and we come up with our model, and this precinct, whatever it is heavy 2 people, and there's one precinct over here that's short 2 or 2 precincts short 1. Can we, as a court, move 2 of those positions and move those people physically to another precinct to work?
The actual people?
The actual people, not the position, the actual people.
I got an answer, but go ahead. You'd have probably the right one.
Budget-wise, whatever the court would agree to, but as far as the people, I mean, that official has to be in agreement with that hire, because they're hiring them into their department.
If the official agreed,
Yeah.
and both officials agreed, you could actually move between departments?
Yes.
Like that?
But more than likely, what would happen is you would move the position and let these people interview for that position so that commissioner can make a decision on what they think those qualifications are. So there's a loyalty piece there. And, but you could do it any way the court wants to do it. And then in regards to the miles per employee, I don't know if we actually have that in a policy
No.
or not. I don't
It's
think
something
we
we came
do,
up with, so.
but
We never did.
with every policy or idea, there's an exception to every rule, and I think this is.
You know, precinct 3 has always had the least amount of employees, for, you know, even before I got on the court, we had the least amount. And, I mean, my formula has always been to spend all of our budget on the roads.
Right.
And so, you know, the old formula of leaving money, you know, in contingency even was, you know, I mean, that gets you where precinct 2 is.
Yeah. That's right.
So,
Just so you have an idea too, the ratios go from, I think the perfect number was 15, what we were shooting for.
Right.
And so we're spread out now from 12 to 19 miles per employee.
Yeah.
And, but that was the whole goal and angle of what we
Yes, sir.
did, so.
If you would, I know you talked about the budget year, but could we push that to the 27? So it gives me like at least 2 years before we,
So the court really can't commit
yeah.
over one budget at a time, but we have a,
no, we could
Our
discuss it.
Yeah.
intent, our intent.
I mean,
would be-
and I think your intent is to try to add another next year, right?
Yes.
I would like to get, yes, I would like to get where we're right around the 15 miles per employee range.
And that'd be close to everybody
You know, when
else.
we came up with this, I guess we were looking at, in an ideal world, this is the way it
Yeah.
would be. If everything was equal, all roads equal right now in an ideal world,
Yes, sir.
and what we gotta realize is that wasn't the case.
You mean to tell me McLennan County, we're not already there?
The bubble burst.
and, you know, I think it's always important to point out to the public that no matter what precinct the road is in, it belongs to every
Everybody.
Yeah.
taxpayer in
Yep.
the county. We cross precincts every day. And, so anyhow, I would, thinking all that and listening to the full discussion, I'd make a motion, we approve this request.
Second.
Have a motion second, any other discussion?
One thing, Judge,
Yeah.
please don't, just with these two positions, please keep in mind, we're still interested in doing outside contracting.
Yeah.
Because you guys have got to get,
Yeah,
you've
yes,
got to
sir.
get somewhere down the road with this.
I'll love to sit and visit with you, and me and the judge did, and sit and visit with you about some options we have and some plans we have, so.
Awesome.
Sounds good. All right, no other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? Pass.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Alan.
Okay. The, under E6A and the auditor's report, did you want to do that now, or?
We need to defer that again. We're just trying to still close out September, so we want to get y'all the most
All
accurate
right, I'll make a
information.
motion, we defer E6A.
Second.
All right, we have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass. All right, Dustin.
Yes, sir. If we can move down to item F, bids, RFPs, RFQs. F1 is authorization of estimate from Ace Fence and Supply for fence enclosure for Precinct 3 radio tower. Ken?
The court may recall when we were building the tower at Precinct 3, it's inside the yard, so it was fenced in, but we left it all open for the construction for cranes and everything entering the yard. But we have more than one entity that has to have access to that tower. So we're bringing to the court a quote to completely enclose that tower with fencing. We got an estimate from Ace Fence in the amount of $7,318. Ace Fence is the one that put up the fence around Precinct 2. So we kind of went back to them to do a similar fence enclosing that tower. It'll have gates from the road outside the yard, and then we'll have a gate into the tower inside the yard. But also too, I think Will was having his main gate replaced. So just working all together. So anyway, if the court will approve this, we'll get the fence going and closing that tower. And I think I've let everyone know that, so.
Our main gate is a little wonky and needs reworked. And so I think that's included in this?
No, this is just for the tower.
Is the tower gate? Okay, never mind then.
Gate fix.
Well, it just freezes, it just when it gets cold, it doesn't move.
Well, we all do that.
I know the feeling.
I mean,
This
so.
morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Motion to approve, F1.
Second?
All right, I have a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Right, under item G, contracts, interlocal agreements, G1's authorization of memorandum of understanding with VA Central Texas Veterans Healthcare System for rehabilitative programs for McLennan County Veterans Treatment Court. So this is an MOU with VA Central Texas for VA-sponsored rehab programs for the Veterans Treatment Court. There's an existing MOU between all the partners, but the VA has requested a specific one with them. This is their standard MOU nationwide. It's been reviewed. There's no cost to the county, and it's recommended for approval.
All right, any questions or comments?
Motion to approve G1.
All right, I have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
G2 is authorization of equipment sales order agreement with Kirby Smith Machinery for 2023 Komatsu excavator shared equipment purchase for Road and Bridge departments. Ken?
This was discussed at our joint meeting, but this is a large excavator to be shared by the precincts. The sales order agreement, the sale of this Komatsu excavator, $192,298.04.
And that's the cost less what we've already paid to lease it, lease it for the couple months we've had it in precinct 1. I just want to I just want y'all to know that, so you're welcome.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry, yes.
Rental credit.
Rental agreement
Rental
credit.
agreement, yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion second. Any other discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
G3 is regarding the software as a service agreement with Tyler Technologies, recording a corrected amendment exhibit number 1 for disbursement software for payment management solution. John?
Yes, this is just recording a correction. There was just a mistype on the document. It should have been 10,000. It had 6,000 when it was on there, but was approved on 10/15. So we just need a motion for recording.
All right, any questions? Not, is there a motion to approve for recording purposes?
So moved.
Second.
All right, have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
G4 is authorization of sales order agreements, service agreements, and related addendums, amendments with CTWP. G4A is regarding copiers for the county clerk's office, and G4B is regarding copiers for the tax office. Ken?
Yes, for the G4A for the clerk's office. Again, it's for 2 copiers, a Konica Minolta BH301I and a BH451I. It's a lease agreement for 60 months in the amount of, it's a $3,925.20. That does include the maintenance agreement.
Good.
And the maintenance agreement is for 48,000 copies annually. So they generally get large format copiers, so they generally cost more than generally. Yeah.
Okay, any questions or comments?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, I have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
G5 is authorization of maintenance and support agreement with DataWorks Plus for county sheriff mugshot system.
I'm sorry,
Drive.
I didn't finish with G4B.
B.
Yeah, B.
Sorry, Ken.
Good to be.
The tax office has 2 different lease agreements. The first one for the records side of the tax office, records auto side, sorry. They're leasing a Konica Minolta BH451I in the amount of $209.90 per it's a 60-month lease. When I read that before, that amount was for a yearly amount. This is for a monthly amount, $209.90 for a 60-month lease for that copy. And then for the, well, this one says auto 2. Oh, well. It's 2 smaller copiers. It's the Konica Minolta 301i in this lease agreement is $294.56 per month for both of them, for both copiers.
Any questions or comments? If not, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve G4B.
Second?
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
All right, G5 is authorization of maintenance support agreement with DataWorks for the county sheriff mugshot system. Major Ives?
This is just a renewal for DataWorks Plus for our mugshot system out of the jail. The contract is not increasing. It's going to be $11,330.90, and we would recommend the court renew that contract.
All right, any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
If we could defer both G6 and H1, they are both related, and we should have that documentation ready for next court.
All right, I move we defer.
Second?
We have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
G7 is authorization of road use agreement with PP Jaguar Solar. Zane or Judge, I know, Judge, you had some thoughts on this as well.
Yeah, I know there's been some preliminary discussions, and I think there's, the original, vendor or, entity that's out there is splitting their company into two deals. One's the battery and the other one's the solar. And there's some things that I want to, have a further discussion in that I noticed in reading over the notes and bring it back in for further discussion. Zane, I just saw you pop up here, so, any comments?
You said it, Judge. It's the same company, PP Jaguar, used to be SP Jaguar. And when they became PP Jaguar, they executed with the county a road use agreement for the roads and bridges leading up to the construction site. And then the same company wanted to build across on the south side of Elk Road a battery storage system, otherwise known as a BESS, battery energy storage system. And they assigned the rights from the solar farm to the battery farm, but their lawyers did not feel that that was adequate enough, and they wanted a separate road use agreement for the battery farm itself. And so that's what's on the agenda today. But if you would like to defer it, that would be fine.
Yeah, I think we need to get a better understanding, and I would really like for us to draw up what we want it to be, and fairly quickly. So if there's any negotiations that need to be done, we can get on with it. So the battery piece is what's being put in right now.
Yes, sir.
There's been quite a bit of work there, and so
I'd be more concerned with what our attorneys think as opposed to what their attorneys want.
that's my point.
Yes, sir.
And he has been involved, and I really haven't seen what changes that he's made, and that's why I wanted to come back and look at it again. So I would make a motion, we defer those items.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
All right, item G8 is authorization of services agreement with ERI Economic Research Institute for salary survey database subscription. Anna?
I have a request to approve this agreement with ERI. It's a salary survey database subscription. It's an annual subscription, and so this year it'd be $6,989. And this is the database HR wants to use in preparation for salary comparisons going into summer budget sessions. In the past, I've presented data based on public databases, Texas Workforce Commission, Texas, their database is Texas Wages, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics. They just lag behind a couple years. And so this is more recent data. They source their data from surveys they conduct themselves, for purchase surveys, and public databases as well. And so having seen the data used by public sector, which was the consultants we used last summer, we felt confident in that information. And so we feel good about using this database.
How current do you think their data is as opposed to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics?
They update their database every 6 weeks.
Oh, wow, okay.
And this is something we're gonna look at every year? Every year, we're gonna pay them to do this?
Right, so this budget session would be this trial period. HR, we've demoed the product.
I'd like to see some comparisons of their numbers versus what we've used in the past to see how reflective they are of current, or how far off we are when we get to that point.
Okay.
Does that make sense? I mean, if they're much more accurate, then I'm all for it. If they're very, very close to each other, even with the 2-year lag, I don't see spending the money.
Okay, that's fair. We like the information that we'd had been getting from public sources seemed reliable, seemed accurate. It's just the lag, and so we don't mind continuing using that. But yes, if there's not a significant difference, we'll be able to try to analyze that after a year's
Okay.
use.
I don't have a problem.
Yeah, and we're not committing, ideally, we would look at something, and so we can compare it and have a discussion about it at that time.
Yeah.
You know, I always think you take that information, but you compare it to what's happening on your ground at that time. In other words, turnover and things like that, and why is the turnover there? You know, what's driving that? And so, generally, it's the local economy.
I'd also be interested to know, and because we use comp counties, how many other counties are going to this versus public sources? In other words, our comparable counties that we use all the time on comparisons, what are they doing?
Okay.
Okay?
And I think the objective is to not ever get where we have to do what might look like an overreaction to catch up or
Amen.
those kind of things. And that happened several years ago where inflation, we weren't the only ones, or I guess in our defense, we weren't the only ones fooled by what we thought inflation was going to be. And so it impacted us.
It's uncomfortable making a decision and having to wait for 2 years to see if it was right.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah. A motion to approve G8.
Second.
All right, have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
G9 is authorization of agreement with Cumbie Pest Control for various buildings. TJ?
Yes, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
So this is our yearly agreement with Cumbie. I will note there were 2 price changes, but they were based off of a need for additional rodent control. This is all captured under our 2025 budget, so we recommend it for approval.
All right, any questions or comments? All right, no questions. What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Thank
All
you.
right, if we can move down to item N5, Greater Waco Chamber of Commerce, N5A's monthly economic development report for November 2024, and N5B is the report for December 2024. Chris?
Good morning.
Good morning. Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year.
You have before you our November and December reports for 2024. We noted on our submission for the December report, we've not finished out the financials for the close of the year. So those December financials will be reflected in our reporting that will be sent in February. Couple of things that I just wanted to point out would be a little redundant to go through November and then go through December. So I'll just close out the year for you. We had a great year of economic development again. We had about $1.1 billion worth of new industrial capital investment announced across McLennan County. A couple of things to note with that were that it was 7 projects, 3 expansions, 4 attractions. They were across 4 municipalities across McLennan County, which is great because it means that we're seeing development and growth happening across the region. We had 997 new jobs announced, which was a 95% increase over 2023. We had 2.2 million square feet of real estate development announced, which is a 73% increase over 2023. And 77% of that, or 1.5 million of that, was new construction announced. So lots of development happening there. Of the projects that we worked, 3 of those were foreign direct investments, and that's the highest number on record for a single year. And it also accounted for 40% of the announced investments for 2024. We had a lot of, through our work with the Industrial Foundation, we had a lot of real estate transactions that happened. 2 projects that announced in the Robinson Business Park. We completed 7 transactions for the year, and then continued to grow our economic development efforts, and received some great recognition, which I will bring you your award. But for the second consecutive year, McLennan County, along with a municipal partner, was recognized for their work in economic development excellence. And so through our Texas Economic Development Corporation Council. And so I'll bring you that for Judge to get his picture made at our next meeting. But this one was for the collaborative work between the county and Robinson for the Walmart milk production facility that's under construction now, a milk processing facility. I always say that wrong.
Yeah, me too. I always admit it.
I was standing ready to correct you.
I know you were. A couple of other things, just to note too. We conducted 103 business retention expansion visits for the year, which exceeded this is the second year in a row we've exceeded the 100 visits. Prior to COVID, it was the norm for us to be over 100 visits for a year, and then COVID really slowed down that process, but we have gotten back into the traditional swing of things with that, and Lexi's doing a great job with that program. Our pipeline for projects continues to be strong. And again, it is a diverse mix of projects that we're working on across McLennan County, which is always good and healthy to see that there's growth that's happening everywhere. So with that, I would be happy to answer any questions that y'all might have about the 2024 activities or what's on the horizon for 2025.
Sounds good. It was a good report. I think that we need to stay focused. A lot of this wouldn't happen if we hadn't had an aggressive workforce training program in the county. And now the ancillary things need to be strengthened up, in my opinion, is a better transportation connection between, since McLennan County is a net provider of jobs, then having a better transportation of workforce from other counties into here will be very helpful. Not only in here to work, but also to take advantage of that workforce training. And then I noticed also is an expansion by, I believe, Goodwill for childcare.
Yes, sir.
And that's becoming more important all the time, and specific locations for that childcare is important as well. So as you know, we will be having the groundbreaking for the work site, which the county and city of Waco took the lead in working with TSTC, that I think is really going to enhance our existing workforce as well as new workforce come in. The best way we can fight local poverty is to educate these young folks to a skill level that is marketable.
Yes, sir.
So,
And the
What was the
investments.
date, Judge, on the work site? 13th, February, is it 13th?
I believe it's the 13th.
On the.
Yeah.
The
the
walkthrough or whatever?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Okay,
For the grand opening.
grand opening,
Grand
yeah,
Yes, sir.
there you go,
okay.
yeah. Okay. All right, is there a motion to approve that report for recording purposes?
So move.
Have a motion and second. No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, pass.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That motion covered both reports, right?
Yes.
We need to both, yeah.
All right, moving back up to item I, capital
Did we
improvement
vote?
and construction projects.
No, we didn't.
Wait a minute. All wondered why I was acting so smarty.
Sorry about that.
Uh-oh, I'm back dumb again. Okay, we had a motion, a second, on those reports. We didn't have a vote, is that right?
We need to vote.
On the second one, motion to accept the report for recording.
All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass. That cleaned it up? Okay, Dustin?
All right, moving on to I-1 regarding Chapel Road improvements, agreement with Casparian Underground, doing business as H&B Contractors, authorization application for payment number 11. Zane?
Where are we now, Dustin?
I-1.
I-1, okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So this is their 11th pay application for the improvement on Chapel Road project. And the roadway portion is $381,777.41. The total pay application is $647,646.17. And their application has been reviewed and it's recommended for approval.
All right, any questions? If not, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
All right, motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
I-2 is regarding the Holy Road at North Cottonwood Creek Low Water Crossing Project, agreement with Bear Creek Construction, and there's 3 items here. I'll go ahead and read them all in. I-2A is authorization of application for payment number 3 final. I-2B is recording of affidavit of all bills paid and final payment release. And I-2C is recording of general warranty and guarantee. Zane?
Yes, sir. So this is the final pay app to close out the Holy Road Low Water Crossings. Pay app number 3 totals $202,191.22. They did give us a break on this project, did not charge us the full amount. So that was a decrease of $6,288, and that was because they did not wasn't required to get a traffic control plan signed and sealed by an engineer because the Holy Road low water crossings were pretty much way out in farm fields and it's very low traffic volumes out there. So it's recommended that the court approve the final pay app number 3 and accept the project as completed.
Okay, any questions?
So we need to approve I-2A, B, and C.
Yes.
That's what he's asking.
Motion to approve I-2A, B, and C.
Second.
All right, have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Thank you.
All right, and before we move on, I just want to point out that on the check run today, the date on the cover sheet was incorrect. It has been corrected, and we will substitute that in. I don't think any other actions needed. Just wanted to make the court aware of that we have corrected that date. So moving on to item J, budget amendments. Nothing under the FY24 budget. Under J2 regarding the FY25 budget. Francis?
Yes, so we have 4 budget items here for FY25, starting with J2A1. This is a budget amendment in the general fund in the countywide road and bridge department. So this is related to the item you approved earlier today for the excavator purchase. We are moving from the countywide road and bridge contingencies. We had some there, and that is where we placed an additional amount for outsourced work for Road and Bridge 2 as well. But right now we felt like that was the best place to move that from. So J2A2, this is general fund also for countywide Road and Bridge, moving from professional services into other services and charges. And this is for the cost of the lunch for the training sessions that you held for your staff. J2B, this is something that needs to be accepted for recording. It is a revision to one of the forfeiture funds held by the sheriff's office. The revision is a change in category levels from capital outlay to other services and charges. And then J2C, this is general fund for specialty court. They had ordered some furniture before the end of last year, did not receive it. And so we are having to pay for that now out of this current fiscal year, and they did find space in their budget to accommodate that. So they're requesting to move into furniture and equipment for this current fiscal year.
What happened to the money from last budget year? Was it just put back in general?
Yeah, so it just sits unspent.
Unspent.
Yes, so rolls into fund balance,
Okay.
just unspent budget. And that concludes J2A through J2C.
All right, any questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve J2A through J2C.
Second.
All right, have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
All right, we have nothing under item K this week. Under item L, grants, L1 is our ARPA discussion. I don't have anything this week unless the court has any thoughts or questions. Not, we'll keep moving on. Nothing under item M. Under item N, N1 is discussion and action regarding equipment sharing policy. We were still making revisions to this late last week, so if we could defer it, we'll have it ready for next agenda.
All right, I make a motion, we defer.
Second.
All right, have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
N2 is approval of order temporarily allowing for detour and accepting trucks from the no-through trucks regulation on Treetop Road Precinct 3. Commissioner Jones?
So this is Pike Electricity is doing some utility work on Heritage Parkway, and they need to close it off for a day. And this is just to allow traffic onto our road, Treetop Lane, which is posted for no trucks. So I would, please pray for us, as we will no doubt receive many calls about this when it does go through.
So what's the pleasure of the court?
I'd make a motion to approve the order allowing the detour and accepting trucks from no-through trucks regulation.
Second.
Motion made and second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
N3 is authorization of appointment to the Greater Waco Sports Commission Board. This is authorization to appoint Commissioner Wilson to that board.
Okay, and thank you, Commissioner Smith, for serving in that capacity,
Bet.
and
He'll enjoy it.
and Commissioner Perry before that. And so Commissioner Wilson being out in Precinct 2 with Trading House Lake and maybe another rowing event out there, and plus he's going to run in the marathon.
I'm gonna swim across the river.
He's already shared some other venues out there that are very, very interesting, so I know he's
surf.
anxious to showcase some of those. So.
Yeah.
We have the surf park, which could have some events.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we have the Waco Eagles motorcycle track's been there since, what, the 30s?
Long time.
So we've got some
Heart
good
of Texas
ideas.
Speedway?
Heart of Texas Speed, well, that's in
That's
next.
That's two, though. That's
Three.
That's three, that's right.
That's Lacey Lake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's right.
but yeah, I'm excited.
Okay,
It's good.
good.
It was, I went to the meeting here last
Good
month.
people.
It was good,
Yeah.
good.
I appreciate you agreeing to serve on that.
Did I?
All right, I'll make a motion, we approve that.
Second.
Have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
N4 is authorization of refund requests for overpayment of real estate taxes under the Texas Property Tax Code. Tax Office has submitted this refund request from Genco Federal Credit Union totaling $3,421.24 for overpayment of their taxes. And just as a reminder, only those overpayments or erroneous payments in excess of $2,500 have to be approved by the Commissioners Court.
All right, any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
All right, we can move down to item N7, authorization of amendments to the McLennan County Employee Policy Guide, section 9.07, civic responsibility leave, subsection A, jury duty and compelled witness. Anna?
Anna, you sit so far in the back, you're getting your steps in.
I sure am. Keeping me warm, it's okay. I have here a request to amend the employee policy guide, section 9.07 on civic responsibility leave. This is a section of the policy manual that outlines like jury duty leave and compelled witness leave, which are kind of one and the same. For our workforce, we just had a unique situation come up. Typically, it's not, this type of leave is not needed when you're testifying on behalf of another county or the state, because usually it's peace officers that are doing that for former agencies that they worked with, and that's just a part of their job description. We have a unique situation involving a current employee who's actually not in a peace officer role or law enforcement records role. They're in the IT department, and they actually used to be a peace officer for another agency. And so we're just wanting to expand the policy to have them included in that kind of jury duty compelled witness leave benefit, since it's not necessarily a part of their regular duties.
Any questions?
So there's just one little ad right there?
Yeah, so instead of just being on the county's behalf, we're adding on the county and state's behalf.
So, but this just applies to peace officers?
No, it normally doesn't apply to peace officers. That's just a part of their role and function, working for the county in
Yeah,
like a
but
deputy role.
I agree that we need to make that exception. But that's what brought it up, right?
Yes, they worked as a peace officer for another agency, but they're not currently
Yeah.
in a peace officer role here for the county. So it's kind of a
But this-
rare
but this
thing.
wouldn't apply to like an employee, let's say I was an employee, and my neighbor next door got robbed, and I saw it happen, and the state's compelling me to testify as a witness. Are we saying I would continue to get paid, or how?
If it's on behalf of the state,
So any,
this,
so that's
the way
any
this would
employee
read.
then? So if the state compelled me to be a witness, then
Right. So if it was on
Is that
behalf of a
normal?
defendant,
is that normal for other organizations, private business, if somebody gets compelled to testify?
I don't have good data on that. The only thing I have for reference is actually this agency the employee used to work for is Bosque County. Their policy reads exactly the same as ours had read, so the county.
I definitely agree we need to take care of that person. I'm just wondering, are we not opening up any can of worms here, are we?
This is in my 9 years here, the first time I've seen this come up.
Okay,
So
okay. Okay. I was just thinking, could you ever get involved in somebody gone a couple of months or something?
I think your biggest problem is, first of all, you'd have to get clear about being a person of interest.
That's
When
true.
your neighbor being robbed.
That's true. Yeah, I'd probably be the last person called. Motion to approve, so I can get away from it.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Thank you.
All right, N8 is regarding the McLennan County Local Provider Participation Fund, authorization of intergovernmental transfers of funds. This is under the UC, the Uncompensated Care Program. Heather?
Yes, good morning. So it's for the uncompensated care demonstration year 14 advanced IGT with the due date of Monday, February 3rd and settlement date of Tuesday, February 4th. We're requesting to IGT up to the balance in the LPPF on the date of the transfer. And the current balance in the LPPF is $6,904,213.70.
Any questions? All right.
Motion to approve up to the balance in the LPPF, the account on the day of the IGT.
Second.
All right, have a motion second. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass. Thank you.
N9 is N9 is authorization of appointment to the Heart of Texas Housing Finance Corporation Board of Directors. And the City of Waco is requesting to have Kim Stevens appointed to this board. And just as a reminder, appointments to this board must be jointly approved by Glennon County, Bosque County, Falls, Freestone, Hill, and Limestone County by written resolution.
I'll make a motion. We approve the board appointment.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Any other discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
N10 is discussion and or action regarding approval of designated representative for on-site sewage facilities, OSSF subdivision plats. Zane?
Yes, sir. So the OSSF office has hired a new supervisor by the name of Travis Frazier. He's the health inspector supervisor. And so this document before you will allow not only Teresa Wills, the environmental health manager, to update the TCEQ's on-site activity reporting system program and website, but it will also allow Travis Frazier to update the monthly reporting website as well. So it's recommended for approval.
Any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Moving on to item O, Americans with Disabilities Compliance Project. O1 is authorization of professional service invoice with STV for the records building ADA renovations for October and November. This invoice totals $1,187.50. It's been reviewed and recommended for approval. Ken, did you have anything to add?
No, sir. That's it.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Under item P, McLennan County Downtown Jail Remodel Project. P1 is regarding the construction manager at risk agreement with John W. Irwin General Contractor. P1A is recording of certificate of liability insurance and payment and performance bond documents. And that's just as it says, just a recording of those documents to have a good record of them as we move forward into the project.
Motion to accept recording.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
All right, I believe that's all the action items. And just a reminder, we do have the PFC meeting at 11.
Question. And I probably just missed it because I may not have been the person of interest, but did we do H1?
It was, it was related to Hello Bello. We deferred it along with G6, Commissioner.
Oh, okay. Thank you, that clarification.
Yes, sir.
All right, anything else to come before the court? And then PFC meeting will be at 11. We need a quorum, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, for this meeting, we stand adjourned.
So we're gonna be back here at 11?
Yep.
It's cold outside.
You don't want to miss it?
Oh, I'm not leaving.
I don't blame you.
Hey, Judge, I don't know what's going on, but
Recording stopped.
you were gone last time. We were here for like 22 minutes. I don't know what's going on with that.
I'm glad you brought that up.
We could have got away with it, but I like the evidence of it.